What up? What up? Dr. William James here reporting to you. Um, I know I'm a couple weeks late. I did a video around Mother's Day regarding should we celebrate Mother's Day. Um, I'm a man, I'm a male, obviously no bias. Here comes the video. Should we celebrate Father's Day? If you don't care about facts, if you don't care about celebrating pagan holidays, then this isn't really for you. I can understand why you wouldn't care. Not everyone is going to care, and I'm aware of that. But for those who do care, this video is for them. Should we be celebrating Father's Day? So I put together a PowerPoint presentation. And without further ado, I'm going to get into some of the history behind Father's Day, how it became a holiday, why we celebrate it, things of that nature, and whether or not we should be celebrating it. So, like I said, I understand it's not for everyone. If it's not for you, it's cool. Click that like button, click the comment button, click the subscribe button so that you get notifications every time I post a new video. All right, time to watch this video. Father's Day, beautiful holiday where we, celebrate our fathers and the great job that they did raising us, or maybe father figures, things of that nature. So, let's get into it. Do you know what you celebrate? Here are some core questions that I'm going to answer in this video. Where did Father's Day come from? Is Father's Day a pagan holiday? Should Father's Day be celebrated? Why or why not? Okay. So, modern time, this is Senora Smart Died. Modern Father's Day originated in Spokane, Washington by a woman named Senora Smart Died, one of 6 children raised by a widower. Dodd wanted to establish an official equivalent to Mother's Day for male parents. She went to local churches, the YMCA, shopkeepers, and government officials to drum up support for her idea, and she was successful. Washington State celebrated the nation's first statewide Father's Day on June 19th, 1910. So, where did Miss Dodd get the idea for Father's Day from? She got it from the founder of Mother's Day. So Anna Jarvis came up with Mother's Day in 1908, and Miss Dodd came up with Father's Day in 1910. So she saw, mothers being celebrated for what they were doing, even though it was a fairly new celebration. And she wanted fathers to be recognized. She wanted her father to be recognized. It's quite funny if you watch my Mother's Day video. Anna Jarvis, who is credited with the modern Mother's Day movement, she wanted Mother's Day abolished for a number of reasons. One, she didn't feel like people were genuine about it, and they were taking something that she meant to be a sincere celebration of her mother, and they were making it political. They were monetizing it, and it became all about money and materialism instead of genuine love and celebration for someone who took care of you and raised you. The fact that she wanted it abolished says a lot, and then the fact that Miss Dodd got the idea from her for Father's Day says a lot. So it all stems from someone who created it and later wanted it abolished. Both holidays stem from that. So, is Father's Day pagan? Father's Day is related to pagan celebrations in honor of the sky fathers, summer solstice, and sun gods. So the answer is yes. Yes, it is a pagan holiday. According to ancient cultures, sky fathers were and are sky gods who were looked upon as fathers. And I state this in plural because there are so many sky fathers. In fact, most cultures have one. So there are so many sky gods, sky fathers, that most cultures have one of their own. However, sky father is a translation of the Vedic pantheon deist Pita. This comes from ancient Hindu Rig Veda. So if you look up sky father, or if you look up Vedic pantheon deist Pita, you will see sky father, and you see that it's translated from the ancient Hindu Rig Veda. This Indian god is the equivalent of the Roman god Jupiter and the Greek god Zeus. So Vedic pantheon deist Pita is equivalent to the Roman god Jupiter or the Greek god Zeus, which many of you have heard of, the father of Hercules. So if you've studied Greek mythology, you've heard of Zeus. He's more popular than the other ones. So in this time period, it was a pagan holiday, a pagan tradition to celebrate the Sky Father. So this was, what they looked at as their god or their father, or things of that nature. And pagan is a tradition, is something that's outside of the Bible. So people who don't believe in the Bible or more modern, what they call, or modern religions or things of that nature, or books that connect to many of the modern religions, they won't really care if a holiday is pagan or not. So, if you believe in the Bible, for one, you cannot celebrate pagan holidays. So this is obviously for individuals who believe in the Bible. If you do not, you won't care about what I'm about to quote. I understand that. So, Ephesians 5:1 says, "Follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children." So we should be following God's example and no one else's. Ephesians 5:11, "Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them." That's what I'm doing now. I'm exposing this. I'm exposing Father's Day as a pagan holiday. Exodus 20:12, "Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land of the land of the Lord your God is giving you." So we are supposed to honor our mother and father. Are we supposed to honor them on designated days? No. There is no mention of a Father's Day in the Bible. And I'm going to address that again later. Romans 12:2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." More Bible verses. Jeremiah 10:2, "Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." So the heathen would be the pagans, with the pagan traditions. The heathens are non-Israelites in the Bible. All right, those are the heathens, and their traditions are ways that we are not supposed to follow. So you're not supposed to follow pagan traditions. Colossians 2:8, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ." So, pagan holidays are holidays created by men, traditions of men, which is, celebrating your father on the third Sunday in June, each year. That's pagan. And I know people try to say, oh, well, the traditions of the Bible or the Bible was written by men, silly things like that. But it's from God. If you believe in it, you believe that these are traditions made by God, and you believe that God spoke to the men and they wrote the Bible based on what he stated. Okay? So you're not supposed to follow after traditions made by men. You're supposed to follow after the biblical traditions. Matthew 15:3, but he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? So, you would be transgressing against Deuteronomy 4:2 when you celebrate these man-made traditions. Also, you would be transgressing against the commandment of Colossians 2:8. So, why do you break the laws of God? Why do you break his commandments with your traditions? Deuteronomy 4:2 says, you shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall you take away from it, that you may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. So, if it's not a biblical commandment, if it's not in one of the laws, if it's not one of our traditions and things that you celebrate according to the Bible, you are breaking a commandment. All right? So it's not to be done. These verses are clear. There's no way around it. So, love your father. You should love your father. I went over that. You should love your parents. You should love your mother and your father. Can you give your father a gift on this day? Yes, you can. But showing your father love should be done every day. It does not have to be public. So you show your father love every day. You show your mother love every day. Or whoever your parent or guardian is, whoever your mother figure is, whoever your father figure is, you show them love and gratefulness, gratitude whenever you can. Not when someone tells you to, not just because it's a pagan holiday. You don't need to tell social media about it. So I see a lot of people making shrines, and they make these dedication posts to their mother or their father on specific days, like on Mother's Day or on Father's Day. That's what you don't need to do, because that shows that you are doing it specifically because it is that day. You can do it the day before, you can do it the day after. Doing it on that day is a no-no. Also, you must be genuine in your love. You should not be doing it to fit in. It should not be about money, materialism, or attention. So that goes back to why Anna Jarvis wanted Mother's Day to be abolished, because she saw people made it become about money, materialism, and attention. That's what it shouldn't be about. A lot of people post these dedication posts simply for attention. That's part of the generation we live in now, where people post things for attention. They do things for likes, and that's not what it should be about. I'm also not into telling people happy Mother's Day or happy Father's Day if they're not, my mother or father specifically, even though, like I said, I celebrate them on other days. I'm not into telling people happy Mother's Day or Father's Day if I don't know what type of mother or father you are. I don't know you personally. There's no one that I know personal enough to know what type of mother or father they are. Father is not just, some empty title. Just because you have, you planted your seed in a woman and she gave birth 9 months later, that doesn't make you a father. A father has to do certain things. You have to raise your child. You have to be a sense of stability and encouragement. You have to be there for your child emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. There's so many things you have to do. You have to put food on the table. You have to be that strong example for your children if you are a father. And I would have to know that you are meeting what I feel is required of a father for me to tell you Happy Father's Day. I don't just say something like that to anyone just because I know that you have you know, a child that you call your son or daughter. So I hope this clears this up. We need to stop celebrating pagan holidays. Is, you know, obviously, if it applies, if it doesn't, do you. It's no big deal. We need to think critically about, you know, what we celebrate across the board. So, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let me know what you think.